Hi, welcome to the 7th in the series of user guides for Dronedesk. In this guide, I'm going to talk about managing assets. So on the left-hand side, we have three classes of assets in the system: drones, batteries, and other. So I'll go through all three. First and most importantly, let's have a look at drones. So again, familiar interface, standard table layout, and click New Drone to create a new drone record. As you'll be aware by now, asterisk means it needs to be filled in, and a dagger means that field needs to be unique for your business in the system. So let's call this drone P4P1. You specify an acquisition date. Let's say we got it yesterday, and then select the manufacturer. So these are pulled in from AirMap. Hopefully they'll cover the majority of drones that you might own, but there is an option to enter other if your manufacturer isn't listed. Let's go with DJI. It should then populate the model list, and then you can select from the available list of drones. This should be the latest available product portfolio for the manufacturer you select. If it's not, then please let me know. Okay, so let's go Phantom 4 Pro, and then you'll see once I've selected the drone, if the data is available in the system, then it will pre-populate a number of fields for you, including speed, flight time, flyway distance, and so on, which is calculated. The maximum wind resistance, operating temperature range, as well as the weight and size, and the max takeoff altitude. You need to enter a serial number. I'll just enter a random one for a minute. You have the option to enter the firmware version if you want to, and the date at which the firmware was updated, but that's not mandatory. The flight minutes will, once you've started logging flights with this drone, appear in there. It's not editable in this because your flight minutes need to be logged via the flight log in the job section, which I'll show you in a separate video. Okay, so we now have our drone added. You can add some notes if you want to. And there's the first drone. And again, standard view, edit, archive, and delete menu options. If you want to change anything about the drone, you can do that. So let's add one more. Call it Mavic Pro. Let's say we went on a shopping spree yesterday. DJI Mavic. And enter a serial number. And again, you'll see that the fields are pre-populated with the data that's available. And let's add one more. And again, let's go for one of the more obscure drones. Let's go a Latrax alias. And you'll see for this one that there's no further data available in the system. So the only mandatory bits of information that you need to enter are the maximum speed and the maximum flight time. So let's say it's got a measly battery, 15 minutes. And obviously we need to enter a serial number. But other than that, it's not mandatory to enter that information. Hopefully that's specified in your ops manual anyway. Okay, so we've now got three drones in the system that we can use when we build a job later on. Let's have a look at batteries. Broadly similar. We'll go new battery, but far fewer fields to fill in. Again, the battery in-house ID needs to be unique. P4P battery 1. Got that yesterday along with the drone. Manufacturer DJI. Model. And again, serial number. Charge cycle count, you can set that now if you want as a 1 or whatever it is for the battery that you've got at the minute. And firmware version and firmware update date are optional. Click save. We'll add another one. Save new battery. Okay, so there are the two batteries that I've added to the system. You've got the standard menu items, view, edit, archive, and delete, but you've also got add charge cycle. So you can very quickly add a charge cycle to any of the batteries. If you click them in error, then you can always decrement by going into edit. Okay, let's just add one more just for the fun of it. Okay, so we've now got three battery records. Okay, so let's go into other equipment. And this allows you to add any other class of equipment that you like. So you'll see there's a predefined list of things that you might want to add. There's also another option in there to cover anything else. So anything that you think worthy of keeping a record of, you can enter in here. It's optional to enter manufacturer information but I guess it makes sense to do that if you've got the information to hand. Acquisition date is mandatory, so we'll say we bought that today, and we'll save that. Let's add something else. So we can add flight controller. So there are a couple of additional hardware assets that we've added to the system, and again you can view, edit, archive and delete as you can throughout the rest of the system. So that just about covers assets. I'll cover products in the next video, and then after that we'll move on to creating jobs. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.